Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 10th ever episode of the DSC-Cast podcast. We are live again for our 11th week in a row this fine year of 2021, which I believe everyone can all agree is at least moderately better than 2020. Uh, today's podcast, I am joined by lan626, aka Tony. I'm also going to father, who is also one of the coolest guys I know because he's my dad. I have to say that. So let me just go ahead and undeafen on Discord so I can talk to Tony here. Again, fair warning, like we have in the title, we are going to be talking a lot about the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. We might mention WandaVision and the WandaVision finale and the premiere for the Falcon and Winter Soldier, which also came out last week. We might get into some other topics, probably Star Wars related, knowing us, but that's how it goes. But yeah, let me unmute, let me undeafen on Discord and we can talk about some of this stuff. Hey, Tony. I'm here. You there? Tony, you there? Oh well. Well. Hello. I think. If you're there, I can't hear you. You're probably muted. Oh, shit. I gotta change a couple of things on this overlay. What the hell? Alright, let me see. Let me fix the overlay real quick. Alright, here we go. So now the overlay is completely fixed. Oh wait, yeah, we need our timer to go. So, let's see. Work. Chronos. There it goes. Alright, so I'm currently waiting on Tony to either unmute his mic or say anything because I can't hear a word he's saying if he's talking.
Hey, it didn't connect to my headset again.
Fail. Here, I gotta turn you down just a tiny bit.
No problem.
Welcome to yet another podcast, Joey.
Thank you. How's things going in your universe?
Things are going a lot better in my universe than they are in the DC universe, I'll tell you that much.
Right.
Are you on your way home or something right now?
Yes, I am. I'm actually,
You're actually what now? I didn't catch that last bit.
2-3 minutes away. Sorry about that.
Okay. All things good. Of course, a little bit late, and it starts a little bit late. I'm just happy to at least get something started this early on. So, um, yeah. Whenever you get home, just you know what to do. I'm gonna give you a couple updates regarding some stuff, streaming stuff for me, and let you get settled and back at home. So, all right. So,
Got it. Got it.
all right, all right, all right. So, I already posted this week's schedule for my stream schedule on Twitter, I believe. I think I did on Facebook as well. I might have to double check that. I posted last week's stream schedule, it looks like. Yeah, I'm posting last week's stream schedule. So, the upcoming week's schedule. The upcoming week's schedule for this week's streams. Today, of course, we got the DSC-Cast number 10, which is currently happening right now. Tonight we have the DSC CMP Battle Zone, which is going to be a play on the, Let's Play of Minecraft Thunderdome, which I will explain that to more the people watching, as well as the people playing later on tonight, depending on whether or not everything goes according to plan. That live stream begins around 7:30 tonight, so it'll be a fun stream. I have a feeling that everything's gonna go okay. It's not gonna be like Hunger Games. It's not gonna be like a Capture Tower or anything. It's a PvP tournament type thing, but it'll be a lot of fun, I think. Tomorrow night I have changed the stream from a Jackbox party stream to a Uno live stream. At least I believe he can do Uno on Twitch and everything. If that doesn't work out so well, then we might end up going back to normal Jackbox. I'll have to double check and make sure everything is okay before tomorrow night. Tuesday, I don't believe I'm gonna be streaming. Wednesday, I'm gonna be doing my Undertale Part 2 stream. That's gonna begin around 6 or 7:30. On Thursday, I'm going to be doing my Rainbow Six Ranked live stream. I have not finished my placements, but I am very close to doing that. I might finish them either tonight or going in tomorrow. I don't know. I can talk with my friends about hopefully getting them to back me up there. Friday night, I'm probably not going to stream. Saturday night, I'm probably not going to stream. If I do, it'll either be Undertale or Siege. So, that's that. And of course, the usual DSC-Cast is planned for next Sunday. Next Sunday, we're also doing the first Colonica of Duty game, which is going to be on a Minecraft recreation of Shipment. Anyways, that's pretty much all the stream updates I have. I'm pretty sure next week's DSC-Cast, I'm gonna talk with Daniel, maybe Spooky, about the state of Siege as now that we've had some time to play the new Operation Crimson Heist. A lot of different stuff is happening. A lot of cool stuff is coming. So, Tony, are you at home? Are you ready to go? Or are you still need a little bit more time? I'm assuming he still needs a little bit more time.
Just need a little. Give me a second.
Yep. Take your time, man. I want to welcome anyone who is currently watching the DSC-Cast on Facebook. This is the first time we've done it through Facebook. I'm planning on making a DSC-Cast Facebook page, so people who want to see up to Facebook regarding the future of DSC-Cast or DSC projects can kind of see that. I'll probably work on that a little bit tonight. Um, yeah, so we got that going for us. I will make sure that I'll talk to everyone else who's a member of the DSC on Facebook. See how they want to do things, because I mean they could use it as well. Just a plan for future. But yeah, I also know that we are live on YouTube, so after we get done with this podcast, this live version podcast, if you missed any part of the podcast, you can always go back on YouTube, subscribe to the DSC-CastLIVE VOD channel on YouTube, and get any of the content that you missed here later on YouTube. And the same thing, hopefully, we can VOD on Twitch, depending on whether or not the stream will allow us to do that. It's hard to tell what's gonna happen. You know, streaming services, all kinds of crazy. We're only testing out Facebook this week just to see how it works. But yeah, if anyone wants to shoot us a comment, if anyone wants to go and chat and ask a question or anything like that, we are more than willing to answer any question you got. But, alright. I think that's all the stalling I can do without using music as a base, I guess. If anyone wants to know, anytime I do a Spotify playlist on my streams or any DSC-Cast streams, we have here, I'm turning Spotify just down just a tad. We have the Spotify code for each of my personal playlists on the screen, as well as the artwork to help you identify which song is that. I'm working on updating our stream overlays every week, trying to make sure everything works. So, we got the Spotify codes ready for you at any point, so you can save the playlist or add it or whatever. I want to shoot a thank you out to all of these artists that we use, specifically C418, who uses the Minecraft music for Minecraft streams. Basically John Upstog, Paul Heislinger, and let me double check the featuring and Danny Cook for all the music providing on the Rainbow Six Siege playlist, which you all usually hear on Siege streams. I got, and of course, the Hype playlist. I got all kinds of different artists, most of which are all from the Modern Textures HD texture pack, which you all will see tonight on Real Smart, Hallman, Anti-Sound, and Volante. Also, I would like to point out that we added the Team Sun versus Team Indigo theme from RWBY Volume 3, which is, RWBY is a American anime / animation, depending on your definition of the word, and that I've been watching for the past 7, 8, going on 9 years. And it's a great theme that we decided to use as our hype up theme. So, and of course, Spotify keeps pausing. So, that's how it goes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Alright, good.
Are you ready to go, Tony?
Yes, I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, like that, we begin by pausing Spotify, and then starting up the hour and 15-minute countdown. And here we go. So how have you been, Tony?
I've been very busy, hectic with what's been going on as of late on my end, but been keeping up with a lot of things. A lot of
Well, I mean, I'd be surprised if you weren't.
things. All right.
I mean, freaking something came out this week. I know I've been looking forward to. A lot of people on the internet have been looking forward to. Um,
All I have to say is, if you haven't seen it yet, you need to see it and take a
yes,
look.
yes. Again, for the record, we are going to be doing spoilers for the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League today. So if you have not watched it, again, go watch it because the original Joss Whedon version was an hour and a half long compared to Zack Snyder's cut, which was 4 hours long. It was
Now,
the length of your average Lord of the Rings movie.
now, don't get us wrong. Uh, Going and sitting through a 4-hour movie like that, you're gonna need to be prepared. You're gonna need to know that if you have to, you're gonna have to pause constantly to go to the bathroom if you have a lot of food and a lot of drinks to go with you. Because let me tell you, you don't want to miss a single thing. You're gonna want to be able to
Right.
pause the movie and pay attention.
Well, the good
I
part.
I nearly missed
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry about that. But yeah, I nearly missed a lot of stuff if I hadn't paused things.
Mm-hmm.
So,
One of the good things about the Zack Snyder cut is that they had separated the movie into 6 individual parts. With actually technically 8, because you have the intro to the film, which is basically the opening credit from like Batman v Superman going in. You get the 6 individual parts, and then you have the epilogue, which is something I'm pretty sure I would like to talk about with Tony here in a little bit. But we're just gonna go through the movie from like beginning to end. So go ahead, Tony.
sorry. All I have to say is, don't think of it as a massive lump of I have no idea what's going on. Think of it as like a Justice League series of 6 episodes, plus 7 or 8, or plus 2 more, due to the time constraints that they had on it. It's like the Justice League TV show back in like the early 2000s.
Mm,
How everything was
you cut out just one, Tony.
like they took key components. They basically took key components and threw them into those uh, 6 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, it's like it's not like you're gonna sit there and complain about it being one long consistent thing. Think of it, as I said, like a Justice League episode.
Okay. Basically, the best way to go
The
into it,
title of that other part,
I
and
will
then continue on from there.
I will say this is that anything you're expecting from watching the original Justice League, a good in the new version, because I mean Zack Snyder was co-director of the original, but everything that you saw in the original, a decent part of it is there, just upgraded to everything that you would expect from Zack Snyder. Um, a lot less saturation, so a lot of scenes are more mute. Expect that from Zack Snyder by this point after
The
watching
color
Man of
is
Steel
back
and Batman v Superman. Hell, they're even talking about doing a black and white
Yeah.
version of Justice League, which I feel like is gonna be amazing. But that's just me.
Getting into like a Frank Miller design with that
Mhm.
black and white, which I'm not gonna say it's gonna be bad. I'm gonna say it'll look way too fantastic, and people will be extremely mind blown. But there are gonna be parts, unless they do the shadings just right for it, you're gonna miss out on a lot of details in certain scenes because some of
Mhm.
those stuff are already darker.
One thing I will mention right now is that This movie is not made for the average DC fan. In my opinion, I feel like this movie was made as a love letter to all the people who were fans of Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, myself included. Granted, Batman v Superman was not the best movie, neither was Man of Steel, but having watched those movies and enjoyed them for what they were, I enjoyed Justice League just as much. So, do with that as you will.
Another thing that I want to point out for this movie, there are moments where you're gonna feel like you're gonna want to fall asleep because
It's a slow burn.
Zack Snyder's cut is more based on how he does his movies, where Joss Whedon is more
Colorful, I would say.
the talking. It's heavy on the
Heavy
it's
on.
colorful and it's heavy on the talking because due to the fact that his style is based on what's being said, how
Hey,
it's
Gag.
being said.
Hey, hold
Zack
on.
Snyder,
I can't hear you guys, but hold on.
it's fine. But Zack Snyder is more based off of being able to see what it is. So seeing instead of just hearing about it, which
Right.
most movies should technically do, instead of being like, oh, as you know, we had back on like the blah 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 in this place, and as you know, we need to go and do this to do that.
It's a lot less straightforward than the original Justice League, I'll tell you that much.
There are amazing components onto how things are played out compared to how they were shown in the original.
A lot of the stuff that was in the Zack Snyder cut was a lot. Like I've always said with extended editions, it's that extended editions I've always felt are better because the version that the director wanted but couldn't get out. There are certain characters in this movie that you've been introduced to, but have twists and turns that you weren't expecting had you not seen this version of the film.
There are a lot of changes to what you've seen in the movie as well. For instance, there's the stage of the movie, and you see a different character in place of the character that you've seen.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, what the heck happened? And as you continue in the movie, you'll see exactly that scene that.
Tony, you're cutting out a little bit.
I'm sorry, I have no control over how this
Right.
works.
Right. All
but,
good.
They have certain things take place later, or they take place earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not in the position that you've seen in like the previous movie, which blew me out of my mind as to where certain things got placed because not only do you have your normal scenes that were straight from the original movie, the original cut that you saw by Josh, but you see exactly how they were placed because of Zack Snyder, because that's where every single thing is. I do have to go and point out, I've seen a couple people already talk about this on YouTube, especially Nostalgia Critic. He's already gone and explained the difference between both Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon's cuts, and I didn't complete the review due to the fact that it was literally before I had to go and do stuff today, and literally before I had to here. So I have yet to go and completely see his review on it, and then I was going to also watch Black Nerd Comedy, Andre, with his review on the Snyder Cut.
Right.
But by seeing everything, you already have what is known as the positive reviews from that.
Right. I mean, it's all. I've seen nothing but positive reviews. The only negative takes I've ever seen from the film since its release earlier this week on HBO Max was people were complaining about the slow burn. But the problem with it is that all those slow scenes matter to the movie as a whole. You can understand because, I mean, the original movie was made for the studio. It was made for Warner Brothers. It was Warner Brothers' version of Justice League. It was a. It wasn't a situation like Alien or Last Fantastic Four film. It was a situation where the studio took over from the director, and the director had no say in the matter. Unfortunately, a tragedy happened with Zack Snyder. They got the next best thing, which was Joss Whedon, who was at that time already known for directing two of the biggest superhero ensemble movies, Marvel's The Avengers and Avengers: Age of Ultron. Had they waited a little while, they might have gone the Russo brothers, but we got them in Marvel. We got Endgame. Anyway, I'm off topic here. What I'm trying to say is, in this film, in the original film, you could see where. I mean, there were moments where you could tell where it was like, okay, it's Joss Whedon. Like the whole scene where Barry falls onto Diana's bosom in the original, where that little gratuitous stuff that you wouldn't see in Zack Snyder cut, which is hilarious because the Zack Snyder cut is rated R, while the original was PG-13.
Yeah.
So it was like you could tell whose was who, what scenes were directed by who, but you can also tell that the majority of the film was a Joss Whedon reshoot.
Also, don't get it wrong. Zack's not. If you also pay attention to certain scenes which weren't in the movie, Zack Snyder put in some minor comedy jokes as well.
Yeah, he did.
Which is good, you know.
I mean, you can't have a serious film without a little bit of humor here and there, because, I mean, they're human. You can't have them be, like, doom and gloom and brooding robots the entire movie.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always been humor in a Zack Snyder film. He's always had some form of sense of humor. Some jokes landed, some jokes don't. But he's good when it comes to that.
Exactly.
Dad, you haven't been able to get your word in anything. Right now we're still in spoiler-free territory, so no spoilers quite yet. Anything you want to say?
No spoilers yet.
Yeah, don't. We haven't spoiled anything with the plot yet.
We haven't spoiled.
Yeah, well,
We're just talking about certain key moments that were shot in different parts and how it was filmed by Zack Snyder.
well, I'll go ahead and admit I haven't finished watching it because I've been working,
Yeah, no.
but I got the majority of it. So
What part are you on?
whenever I left, they were just getting ready to go battle him.
Okay. Alright, so, of what you have watched compared to when you and I went to go see a movie in theaters, what would you say, would you say Joss Whedon's version's better, or would you rather say Zack Snyder's version's better, just from what you've seen so far?
I'd say the Zack Snyder is a little bit better. He goes into a little more detail on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Another thing that
Especially the characters.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
another thing that we were kind of pointing out as well. The film is, in my opinion, a better masterpiece.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go so far as to saying that Zack Snyder's cut is a masterpiece, because, I mean, every movie is going to have its flaws. I mean...
Oh, yeah, I know that.
I mean...
But I'm thinking
compared to what we got in the original Justice League, I would probably agree and say yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, again.
One of the things I did notice is whenever you see Aquaman and he meets up with Amber Heard,
Mm.
it kind of contradicts the Aquaman movie.
Mm.
I always told. Okay, so I guess we can get a little bit more into spoiler territory now. The scene in
Just not too fast,
the scene in question that my father's mentioning is that there's a point of the film where Aquaman goes to help Mira defend the Atlantean mother box, and they lose the mother box, and then you have Mira being a total bitch to Aquaman, like, your mother wouldn't have done that. Your mother would have gone out there and done it.
You see, and that's not even the whole point. It's the fact that he already knows about her, but in the movie, he acted like he didn't know her at all. You know?
In Aquaman,
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
It's like
it,
he
if you
introduced
really
her
think-
then, but
you
according to
really-
this movie, he already knew who she was.
I would have to go back and rewatch Aquaman. If I remember correctly, in Aquaman, it was like they kind of knew each other, but they didn't know each other, essentially. If you know what I'm trying to
Well,
say.
no.
Like, I
Because
mean,
well, in Aquaman, when she went to go find him, he had no clue who she was. That she was even Atlantean or anything until she explained it to him.
I mean, to be fair, and she showed up in, like, Atlantean garb, whenever, right before the attacking
That's what I mean.
Aquaman. So it's like, immediate, also in the original Justice League, they've met before, so, like,
I know, that's what I'm saying. It kind of contradicted each other a little bit.
I mean, that's the only big problem, is that, this version of, Zack Snyder's Justice League is, I guess you would say, set in an alternate reality of sort. Because, I mean, the canon right now is that, we had to have, like, Shazam and Aquaman, go off the, canon of Joss Whedon's, version, because they were made in a way, they were made specifically, as pseudo-sequel, spin-off type things of those films. I mean, Sean Levi and James Wan didn't have the freedom to go off of Zack Snyder's vision when creating those movies. I'm sure the same thing can be said about the Wonder Woman film that just came out, Wonder Woman 1984. So,
Well, see, that's the whole thing with the Wonder Woman movie. It went prior to Justice League, so it explained it more. And Aquaman, it kind of, it's like I said, it's like if they already knew who they were, but they didn't know who they were.
Mm.
Because at the end of Aquaman, he's the king, and the whole reason why he would to go do that is to defeat his brother.
yet they also alluded to Orm's existence in the Zack Snyder cut, where it's like, where you saw Volko, Willem Dafoe's character, going like, "Hey, you need to man up. You need to go take care of shit, because I mean, you're still royalty. You are the person that should be royalty. Like, I mean, the way I see it is Zack Snyder's Justice League is the true canon, because it did what it was supposed to, in my opinion. It set up the other movies while also still being its own contained film. Because, I mean, if I remember correctly, in the original Justice League, Aquaman was a lot more hesitant, a lot more contradictory of the other members of the League. In this film, you see a little bit of that, but you see him being skeptic, but you also see him like, okay, alright, I'm here now, I might as well take care of this shit, I might as well help these guys. Because, I mean, true enough, I mean, Jason Momoa is a great actor, and Aquaman in these films is kind of a dick, but he's also out there to help wherever he can. Because, I mean, I may be a dick, but I'm not so dick-ish, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, see, I get all that,
Mm.
but
Another thing that
weirdly, there's
The DC film canon right now is kind of up in the air. I mean, we don't even know if we're gonna get another Superman film. We know the Flash movie is coming out, but we don't know if we don't know what's gonna happen with that. We know they're gonna start filming Shazam 2 in a couple of weeks in April. We don't even know if we're gonna get a third Wonder Woman movie. We don't even know if we're gonna get a Ben Affleck Batman movie at any point, because we got the Robert Pattinson film taking place on Earth 2 later on this year.
well, you're not gonna get another Ben Affleck. He's done said he won't do it.
I mean, he came back to help out with reshoots for Zack Snyder's Justice League, so it seems to me like
Because he was still under contract. He
Well,
was
yeah.
under the Justice League contract still.
Mm.
He had to do it. He didn't have a choice. Now that the movie is done with, he doesn't ever have to come back. He doesn't want to make himself known as the Batman.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I understand that. But he also filmed the scenes that were supposed to set up the future of the DCEU. So it's like, hey, personally, I would like to see Ben Affleck come back, because, I mean, the film did everything right to help make it so, like, okay, we know this Batman is, well, what's supposed to be known. I mean, honestly, I would like to see more with Robert Pattinson if anything happens with the Batman movie. So,
Interesting was. Can you hear me?
a little bit. You're cutting in and out.
I said one of the other things that I found kind of interesting.
It's like one.
In the original, it was the blue and red.
Right, the black suit Superman. Which,
Yeah.
I mean, I personally always preferred the red and blue suit, and that's only because that's the Superman I know. I mean, sure enough, you got the black suit after he dies from Doomsday and comes back, and it's like, okay, we got that. But to me, when he made a choice of the black and silver suit, it was like, okay, but why though?
See, and that's another thing about this cut is where the original.
One more time, Gag, you literally cut out every half word, so.
I said in this version of it, it shows him making the choice of which suit, where the original didn't.
Well, the original, he didn't have the black and silver suit. If I remember correctly, he had the blue and red suit in the
I know,
original.
that's
So
what I'm saying.
I don't remember
That's what I'm saying. They,
that scene of him walking through and looking
Right.
at the different suits.
that's true.
he didn't. That's what I'm saying. It was in this one.
But
They threw that in to go and show us, there's all these different suits that he has. Which,
Well-
if I don't know if you guys saw, there had the
armored up
suit
version.
of Jor-El,
Yeah, Jor-El
Yeah, it was-
suit.
and the suit of Zod, which is like this full armor. But it wasn't. I don't think it had the exact Zod logo.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I
Yeah,
didn't really
it
get
had
but
the
it was the Zod suit.
it had the House of L.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
that's one thing I would have liked to see would be if he showed up wearing the, if he went to go put on the armored suit and everything, he showed up wearing the armored suit, because, I mean, hey, he's so fresh from being back, he's still getting his powers back and everything, but he has to go kick Steppenwolf's ass. But he shows up in the black and silver suit, which to me make no sense. To me, it'd make more sense if he had shown up with the armored suit on. The armored suit got damaged as he got stronger and started being Stephen Wolf's ass, and that's when you see the black and silver suit. To me, that would probably have made a little bit more sense in the movie, basically, as to why he was wearing a black and silver suit. But that was just a small detail that I'm sure that they could have done, but it was a small detail of the movie that I didn't particularly like, but that was overshadowed by all the things in film I did like. For example, the introduction of the 7th member of the Justice League. As Tony, I'm sure, went nuts when he saw that.
Okay, hold on. Can I
Yeah,
this in
go
real
ahead.
quick about that too? Okay, so if they had gone and
You're cutting out.
black,
Here, guys, give me 1 sec.
if
I'm
they
gonna leave the leave the chat. I'll be right back.
Is he
okay, so
what's his name? His mom.
I'm sorry.
The same.
Dad, you're going to have to.
Like really.
Dad, you're going to have to leave the party and come back because you're cutting out.
But yeah, so I wish they kind of explained it in the movie, but the black suit, according to the comic,
You're cutting out again.
which basically, really,
Yeah. See,
give me a sec.
I don't know if it's my connection. My connection's fine.
It must be on your end.
It's not on my end because I have everything.
I'm
okay.
back. You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so the black suit in the comics is called the recovery suit / the solar regeneration suit, either or. Basically, it's supposed to go and help him, if I remember, keep his solar energy that was low after he was revived in the original comics and allow him to regenerate his powers as fast as possible. Which, if they explain that to him before cutting to him wearing the suit, that would be a lot more in line with why he wore the black suit, in my opinion. Which would also give fans reason as to why he would choose that over his classic suit or the armored suit.
Right. I mean, the reason why he wears the black, to me, it really doesn't matter the reason why he chose that suit, because, I mean, it's like, okay, it's a different suit. I'm a new Superman, I need a new suit. Like, that would make sense in that form, I guess. But,
well,
I mean, you see him walking through the hall of suits, and you see the classic red and yellow. You see the armored Jor-El version they saw at the beginning of Man of Steel, which was the bronze and blue version, I believe. Then you saw the black and silver armored suit, similar to, like, Zod's from Man of Steel. But for the House of L. And like I was saying earlier, if he had if he grabbed the armor suit, put that on, showed up at, like, say, Bruce's house, like, okay, I need to know where they're at. As he's flying up into space, armor pieces come off because it's not built to last like that. You go up into space or at that speed, and as he goes out into the Superman possible, all those armor pieces fall off and reveal the black and silver suit, which would, to me, make a lot more sense than just, oh, it's a different suit, different day.
Well, we basically have the death of Superman in Batman vs. Superman. Everyone knows that as soon as the solar regeneration suit. He has the solar regeneration suit.
Again, for comics fans, that makes sense for him. but there's no explanation in the movie canon. Like, I mean, to me, him wearing the black and silver suit is just, Zack Snyder pandering to the audience. For me, that makes sense. It's just,
I love the fact of being able to see what the black suit looked like, to see how it appears. And if you actually really look at it, it's just a regular. It's just a regular suit, just
black and
with
silver.
color.
Yeah.
Like you could. That he's in, and as he moves, just layer over him and just change the color of the suit specifically only. And that's how you hit it. And he could easily just be wearing the regular red and blues.
Right.
You know, in my opinion, it just looked better anyway.
I mean, obviously, the black and silver always looks good.
It's like Tony said. It looked better because of him being dead. You know, it just fit that.
It's him basically having a rebirth from coming back from the dead to being alive again.
Exactly.
Well, in my opinion, what would have been another cool thing I could have done is, like, if he did come out of the regeneration pool, like a suit, like, I mean, if he died when he died in Batman v Superman, when you knew he was dead, his colors would fade like Optimus Prime in the original 86 film, where it would go from the from the blue and red to the black and silver, that symbolize, okay, he's dead. And then he'd come back. I mean, that would be Soul Regeneration suit. It would make sense in that instance.
Well, you see, and that's what I was thinking too. If he put on the black and silver suit and then went up there to get recharged, as a recharge, it just changed color. Symbolizing he's getting the energy back and everything else.
Right.
That would make more sense.
Anyway, we're getting, I'd say we're getting off topic, but this is the topic. I mean, we're talking about Batman, we're talking about Justice League. Anyways, other stuff from the movie, Martian Manhunter. I'm just gonna say it right now. The Martian Manhunter.
That's the guy I couldn't think of a while ago. I couldn't think of his name.
John Jones.
Because I know in the original he wasn't in it.
No, well, I mean, technically yes, but actually no.
I mean, that whole scene wasn't in the movie, so...
Right.
Yeah.
To think that we've been introduced to the Martian Manhunter since Man of Steel, him being General Sean Wick the whole time, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Okay.
The part of him changing from Martha to Martian Manhunter, okay, that was cool and all. Like, yay, Martian Manhunter. And seeing him turn into the General, like, oh, come on.
Alright. Hold on. I gotta let you know this. Okay, so when that scene came up with Martha and Lois, I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. And so I turned around, and as Martha left, I was like, okay, cool. And I got up, and I forgot to press pause.
Right.
I was getting ready to go out the door, and all of a sudden, I hear the General's voice instead, so I'm like, wait, what? And I turned around, and the scene had ended. So I had to stop myself going to the bathroom, come back, rewind, play it from there, and just get mind blasted because of that.
Yeah.
All because I forgot to hit pause.
I plan on finishing watching it probably either tonight or tomorrow since I'm off.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and the other part that I saw that was different is when Cyborg connects into it and he sees the future of their deaths.
Right, the nightmare scene, but for Cyborg. And then
so there was another part of that scene that was kind of a little bit off. You know, when Barry goes to touch it, touch the cube, it's already in the water, and then he brings it back up.
No,
I don't think that was in the original.
See, it wasn't in the original because you haven't gone to that part yet. We're gonna have to talk spoilers because, I mean, we've mentioned
Go
spoilers.
ahead. I mean, I'm still gonna watch it anyway.
You've seen the Flash. You've seen the Flash, and you know he can go back in time.
Mm.
Now, it
Yeah,
was
when
just...
he goes back there and sees himself.
It was that moment in particular, you know? It was when you saw the mother box come out of the water, it was a tease that he could go back in time. That this Flash could go back in time using his
Well,
suit.
he mentioned it too. Whenever he went that fast, that he could do time change.
So it's like
So I mean, it was
just a prelude to the scene where he actually does it later on in the movie. So, like I said, spoilers.
But seeing it later on in the movie is just, whoa, the heck.
It was a different interpretation of the Speed Force that I had gotten used to. I mean, I feel like that scene with more of Joss Whedon's colorization would probably have worked a little bit better. Because, yeah, it was the Speed Force. It's an amazing thing. It's supposed to be colorful. It's supposed to be... Okay, so... It's not supposed to be muted. It's supposed to be like, okay, it's the Speed Force. One problem I had with the scene, but then again, I've been spoiled by watching the CW Flash show for the past 7 seasons, so...
Well, a thing that I also have to point out, too, the only time that you never really see the Speed Force is in the original Justice League TV show. You don't really see how he goes and travels through that. And then you got the CW, and then they had the animated, I believe it was Crisis on 2 Earths, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where he goes back in time to go and he tries to save someone, and it turns out that it was
the bad guy.
Zoom in the movie.
Then you got the whole thing with the Flashpoint paradox, which was an amazing animated film. The entire series was amazing too. We might talk about that at some point. Me and Tony at some point. But either way, the different character. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say. I'm gonna go ahead and ask this to both Tony and Dad. Which character in the film do you think was the... I don't want to say main character, because they were all the main characters in the film.
You mean more pivotal? Pivotal?
Yeah, the most pivotal, because I've seen a lot of people saying it was Cyborg. I've seen some people saying it was Superman. Some people were saying it was Batman. And then some of them were saying it was Lois.
Well, as the Flash says in Justice League, the key is Lois. But no, I'm not going off that.
But I was gonna say she's not in it as much as she probably should be because of that.
She was in it. I'll go into something specific that Zack Snyder himself confirmed on Twitter later on, earlier this week. But I'll go into that in a little bit. But Lois Lane, great. It wasn't Superman's movie. Sure, Superman was. It wasn't a Superman central movie. It was like Justice League. It was about all of them coming together. It was a little bit of the forced DCEU stuff, which it was like we have all these characters that now we have to care about. Just despite, in a way, we got what we needed. Going to see the original Justice League, at that point, the only movies that had come out at that point were Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, and Wonder Woman. All leading up into Justice League. Which, granted, they were following Marvel's approach at that point. And Justice League flopped. And then suddenly we had no idea what was going to happen with the rest of the DCEU. But after that point, we got, Wonder Woman 2, we got Birds of Prey, we got Aquaman, Shazam, and it was, and suddenly we know these characters, and we can go back to the original Justice League, and it works better for what it's worth, because now we know these characters, we know their motivations, we know their personalities, and we know their either past or their future. So it makes sense when watching a film. I mean, sure, you're told out of order, but with with the Justice League, it makes sense. Like, say, Batman v Superman. In the original cut, I would say it's more Batman's movie than it is for either Superman or Wonder Woman. Because but in the second cut, it's more balanced between the two, between Superman and Batman. Like, you see both of their motivations, you see more of how they, how it works in their favor to connect, I guess. The way they did, the fight scene, albeit with a stupid ending and very short, it makes sense for what it was supposed to be. And you see in this film how much Batman cares about correcting a mistake that he made. See, after seeing what happened in the first one, in Batman v Superman, you know, it's like a lot of stuff. Zack Snyder is brilliant. I'm just sad it took us. What year did Man of Steel release? 2012? 2011? It's sad that it took us 9 years to get to that point, you know? 8 to 9 years to get to the point where we can acknowledge that Zack Snyder's version of the DCEU is probably better than what they could have done. I would love to see, like, the next Justice League film, if they actually do go up against Darkseid. I would love to see that be more of a interconnected film with James Wan, Zack Snyder. Maybe throw Joss Whedon in there if he isn't still canceled at that point. Whoever, maybe Sean Levi if Shazam's gonna be a part of that. Just all these directors coming together with their characters to make a Justice League movie where it's like, I want to see all these characters flourish in their own way. I want them to kick Darkseid's scummy ass.
But yeah, so back to your question on who you thought was the most pivotal character. To me, I'm torn between both the Flash and Cyborg.
I can see where I feel like the Flash is more comic relief than pivotal.
Well, without him, we would have got what we saw in the epilogue, though.
Well, technically, I think that's exactly what we're getting at the moment. Because, I mean, well, we don't even know if any of that's accurate because all we've seen is visions that are being portrayed in Bruce's head with every nightmare that we see. And we'll get to the nightmare sequence here in a little bit, but go ahead with what you said.
In my opinion on it, there was no main character because you had to have each one of them to do something.
Right. It was an ensemble movie. Each one of them had their own. Each one of them was the main character of the film. That's what I was trying to say. I didn't want to say main character. I wanted to say the most pivotal character, the one who.
They had the most to bring to the story.
The most influential character on the overall story. Because, I mean, Cyborg, you saw, was like the heart of the movie, I guess. Because, I mean, Cyborg had a lot more to do in this movie than he did in the original. Because, I mean, this was, in certain ways, this was more Cyborg's movie than anyone else. There was a...
you actually saw more of Cyborg's story in this version.
You saw him actually going and figuring out how to fly, which we didn't know that he could do that until he did that in the original cut. Like, oh, you know how to fly?
Well-
Oh, cool.
The other part I liked about that is the fact that he actually went into and we saw how he become what he was
Hmm.
and why his dad did what he did and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
He's
yeah, just in the Batman vs Superman, you get that small glimpse.
mm-hmm.
In the actual sequence of the movie, you actually get to see how it completes, because you don't really see it complete. You just see it in Batman vs Superman. It happens, and then the video ends.
It's
Yeah.
a balancing act, if you ask me, with all these characters. Cyborg, I will admit, Ray Fisher did an amazing job portraying Cyborg. I haven't had the opportunity or chance to go watch like Doom Patrol, where Cyborg has also been prevalent in the shows. I'm sure. I don't know if he's made any appearances on Titans yet, but
Not yet. He hadn't.
I watched Titans, and he hasn't made any appearance yet.
okay. So
Even in Doom Patrol, he gets in there and he already knows who he is and what he is,
mm-hmm.
but he's I wouldn't say he's comic relief part of it. He's like they're trying to take over.
I'm
So,
I'm just I'm glad to see Cyborg making more of a leap into live action stuff as of late. I mean, he's been such a prominent character in a lot of, say, my generation, maybe going so far as to say Tony's generation with like the original Teen Titans show back in the 2000s, the more influential show. And then nowadays with the Teen Titans Go, which is basically the parody of Teen Titans at this point. And I'm glad to see some of these characters flourishing. I mean, we're all familiar with Wonder Woman, we're all familiar with Batman, we're all familiar with Superman, we're all familiar with The Flash. I'm happy to finally get some more Aquaman stuff, because we don't know much about Aquaman. Outside of maybe the cartoons and the comics.
Speaking of Aquaman, the one thing that I did notice between the two movies is when Ben Affleck is talking to him about who Arthur Curry is.
Mm-hmm.
When he comes into the town and he's looking for him.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, it's like he's already there talking to him because he's sitting there talking to the two guys.
Right.
And in the original, Arthur Curry walks up behind him.
Yeah. Well,
Which I think was probably better of an introduction than what this one is.
well, I guess so, but
Going into this movie, you know who Aquaman is. You
Also-
know the actor, you know what he's supposed to be.
Well,
I think-
but
I th-
imagine if this had been the first movie that come out, and all you see is Aquaman standing there. People wouldn't really know who he was.
well, I think the reason why they did that is because Aquaman himself didn't know that Bruce Wayne was looking specifically for him. So he probably was just like, okay, well, there's this guy here, and I'm going to try to translate between the guy who's leading this meeting to him, and maybe he won't know that it's me as he's sitting there describing, what he's doing, what's going on. Because he doesn't describe how he looks. He just says there's a man who comes in on the king's hide, bringing, and I think his way of just being like, I don't know yet. I don't trust this guy yet. I don't know what he's coming on about until they have both of them walking away from the thing, and then he's talking with them, and he's like, "Oh, okay, well, yeah, you're trying to look for me. I don't care."
Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is they could have probably took the beginning of Josh Whedon, where he walks in there looking for the guy, and then put over to where they're in another room talking.
That would make sense to go and have Joss Whedon staying where he's coming in looking for him, and then Aquaman, Jason Momoa comes in and walks in behind him, and then stands behind him, orders a beer, and then cut to the meeting. which probably
Yeah.
a lot more interesting. You know, but then you have another 4 or 5 minutes added to the movie.
Just,
Well,
just
yeah, but with like
yeah.
Zack Snyder's version, I can see that being added to it.
Yeah.
I guess from Zack Snyder's point of view is that he had already introduced Aquaman, or at least teased his existence, showed Jason Momoa's face in Batman v Superman when Batman sees all the stuff that Luthor drug up and everything like that. So I can understand why he didn't feel the need to introduce it any further, because people who have seen Batman v Superman would instantly know, oh, that's Aquaman, and the second that he says Arthur Curry, you would say, okay, I know exactly who you're talking about. Granted, I understand where people are coming from. It's a comic book movie pandering to comic book fans, but it's also a movie that needs to pander to a normal action movie audience. I mean, there's gonna be someone who doesn't care about the comics and who goes in to watch the movie to see the movie because it might be a good movie. You know, you gotta give that introduction, but you gotta make it make sense for the film, as for all the people who don't know what's going on.
You also have to make sure that everyone who doesn't know about anything about the comics to be like, okay, this is what this person's actual name is. This is what's going on with this person. But doing too much of it also goes and throws out the suspension of disbelief that most movies have, which then tears all the viewers out of the movie, and then you're sitting there just wondering why this stuff is going on. So,
but I mean, if you look at it from the point where they just show them sitting there talking, you don't understand why he's there looking for the guy there anyway. I mean, I would say probably add a few minutes before, where he walks in there and asking about him. They do all that after.
Yeah.
But that's just my point on it.
I mean, this film released after Aquaman. This film, they had to shoot the scene a little bit different, I guess, because, I mean, people already know who this guy is at this point. So...
The thing is, though, it was filmed before Aquaman.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they did do some reshooting, but I don't know if they reshot that scene in particular. I don't know. There were... this movie has evidence that there are different versions, it's like the biggest way of showing the hell is that?
Cars going by. I'm out in the car right now.
Ah, okay. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that, the film benefits from being released after the original, but it's also evidence to prove that directors can shoot multiple different versions of the same scene, and pick and choose which one they like the best. It's like the moment you realize that this film was a lot more fluid in regards to the writing of the story and everything than it was in a normal movie would be. Because, I mean, you can see where they change stuff up in between beginning, middle, and end. Like, I mean, some of the trailers that you saw at the very beginning whenever Justice League first came out, those trailers, the first trailers that we got made sense for this version. Because that was the version that we were going to get. Then Zack Snyder's daughter unfortunately passed away, and, well, shit hit the fan. And then we got Joss Whedon coming in here trying to pretty much change up everything because that's not what the studio wanted. Studio didn't want a flop. They got a flop anyway. So...
all they had to do was just let him do his grieving and things would have been fine.
I wouldn't have minded waiting a little while. I honestly would not have minded waiting a little. Well, to be fair, at that point, he just gave up the film in its entirety because his daughter passed. So,
Well, see, that's where you get into the other movies. If they had done Wonder Woman and Aquaman before Justice League, then it would make more sense of what they did in this movie.
honestly, yes, they could have,
Yeah,
they should have pushed it back a little bit, but Warner Brothers is Warner Brothers. I still feel like Warner Brothers
well,
are like the biggest assholes in the movie industry next to
another
Fox.
another reason why they didn't throw Aquaman and Wonder Woman at the beginning, like they, you're thinking about, is due to the fact that
Both
one,
Aquaman.
even no, even if they did do let's say they started instead of going straight into Justice League, we got what we got, and then we got Aquaman next. One, he'd be extremely more powerful than what he's been shown in the original Justice League and this Zack Snyder cut, due to the fact that at this point he would have his father's trident,
Mm-hmm.
which he would be able to control the oceans way more than what you've seen, and he'd probably be a lot more powerful due to that point in fact.
Mm-hmm.
And his character in that movie would almost be useless in Justice League, because he'd probably be like, yeah, I gotta control my entire nation, so sorry but not sorry, you guys are on your own.
I mean, to be fair, some of what can be said about Wonder Woman. I mean, she was arguably a lot more powerful at the end of 1984 than she was at the end of the first Wonder Woman. Because I mean, the first Wonder Woman, she essentially got her ass kicked like more than not, and whenever it came out to Ares and everything.
Yeah.
But in like Batman v Superman and Justice League, you can see her holding her own a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, and also the urgency that I'm sure Warner Brothers and DC had at the time to pump out these movies, because I mean their competitor, Marvel. I mean, let's see, 2018, 2019, we got Infinity War and Endgame. 2018, we got Aquaman.
Mhm.
We got Shazam in 2019.
Yep.
And they had those films could not compare to Infinity War and Endgame, especially now. So it's like, I understand the rush to get these films out there, because I mean, I don't blame them for like their competitor is making movies that are essentially the top movies in the entire world. One was the top movie for the entire world for over a year at this point. And well, again, after, you just know what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, no, I understand. But nonetheless, I do like the way that the film was done. I do like the certain beats that were changed up to make it more believable, with how certain characters decided to be like, hey, this is how I need to go and do this stuff. And if I also remember correctly, in the original Justice League, I don't remember Wonder Woman going and seeing the murals and then explaining who's really coming, because they didn't throw that in. They threw that into this because they wanted you to see exactly how she knew about all this stuff that was going on. I mean, yeah, in the original Justice League, you had Batman fighting a parademon after going and basically stopping a crook, but that
even that itself is ripped from a different movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even in the original, they made it imply that she knew before she even did.
Yeah, which threw everyone off.
So that's why I do like the part where they show it.
Also, interesting thing that I loved that they threw into it, which I didn't think they were actually going to throw into it. I don't remember. How far are you into it? Are you, by the way?
He had just gotten to the black suit and
Okay.
was charging up when I ended.
Okay. So you
You can
know
go ahead
about.
and say what.
Okay, so I was gonna say, so you know about the whole, because I believe it was before that, but you know about the whole, um, him going and realizing that for people who don't know, there is a thing from the comics that a character is looking for. That character is called Darkseid. Um,
Yeah.
The anti-life equation.
yes, the anti-life equation has been thrown into the movie, and apparently it's on Earth, just like in the comics. That which gives reason as to why Darkseid always goes and attacks Earth constantly
It
in
makes
the comics,
sense. It's like,
and
Well,
the reason why he's
I do
saving
know
it.
in the original, you really don't see Darkseid.
you
a
don't,
whole lot.
no, you
Because-
don't see him at all. The only,
because he's
That's
not
what I'm saying.
referenced.
You hear him.
no,
You
you
hear
don't,
him talking to him. That's it.
you don't even get to hear him talk. It's
No,
all
he's-
Steppenwolf in the original. It's nothing
Cause-
but Steppenwolf. You hear, Steppenwolf say, for Darkseid, and that's it. Like, that's the
Yeah.
and then you see in, like, the Nightmare, scene in, Batman v Superman, you see the big Omega sign, which teased
which shows us that yes, Darkseid is going to be in this entire thing, because Darkseid is connected to the Omega symbol, mostly because of his Omega beams, which are beams from his eyes.
right,
That
yeah,
are
no,
like badass.
mhm.
Which, in the movie, you do see Darkseid use the Omega beams in Cyborg's vision when they're working on trying to bring back Superman. Which I loved how they did it, because it was exactly how they appeared in the comics, how they exactly appeared in any TV show appearance that he has.
The Omega beams can
and-
change direction at any point.
Yeah. And the fact of what I was trying to get at is the scene where Steppenwolf is trying to look for the anti-life equation. In that vision that he has, you see him in the position of Darkseid, which we saw earlier in the movie, where he's getting ready to go and fight all the heroes of the past. And you see him do the exact same motions of reaching down, grabbing the dirt, letting the dirt fall, and then
Someone
smacking
in
the ground. Oh,
smacking the ground. But, and I can understand exactly what,
Yeah.
I can understand that, like, okay, so in the film, it's like, Steppenwolf is like, I found the planet where we lost. I found the planet where anti-life exists. And part of me was like,
yeah.
but
Well,
it's
another
been-
thing is what I was trying to get at is that scene where Steppenwolf is doing that they're talking about the previous heroes and whatnot, and they just took that part of Steppenwolf going and doing that and put it into a later scene, which made more sense as to why he was in that.
I think a lot of the stuff that happened in that,
Steppenwolf back in Darkseid, which, in my opinion, when I saw Darkseid in that first flashback, just loved that visual, the visuals for Darkseid.
the Darkseid's visuals in the movie were amazing. Anyway, we got about 10 minutes left on the podcast, on the countdown, and I would very much like to get to the nightmare scene in this movie, because the nightmare scene in of itself was, in my opinion, epic. So this takes place in like the epilogue. So if you want to pop out the podcast now and not spoil it for yourself, you're good. But we are going to be talking about the reveals that happen in this specific scene. So,
Oh, okay.
um,
No, well, I gotta go anyway, so.
okay.
Okay, well,
We'll,
thanks for being on.
we'll see you tonight, alright?
Yeah.
Alright. Love you.
Alright, bye. I love you too, bye.
Alright, so, let's get into this right now. Joker scene. We got Jared Leto as the Joker, as the version that everyone was hoping we would have gotten to begin with, instead of, Suicide Squad gangster, metal mouth, son of a bitch. This scene in particular, it just made it so much better. I always said that Jared Leto could have been an amazing Joker if he was given the character the way it should have been, instead of DC's gangster. I'm a gangster kind of crazy jackass. Whatever. This version of Joker is everything I was expecting from a Joker. It gave me some Heath Ledger vibes. It gave me some Jack Nicholson vibes. The problem with Joker is that we have to compare anyone who plays the role to people who played the role.
Previous.
Yeah, like Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, and even John Travolta. Wait, no, that was Joaquin Phoenix. My bad. I don't know why I always get them confused. I always
I was gonna say, John Travolta was not in the movie.
Joaquin Phoenix. It's Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix's version, which, I mean, granted, is one of the most talked about versions of the Joker we've ever seen.
It's the most talked about, and apparently, what I've learned is Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is a lot more controversial than Heath Ledger's and.
It's controversial. I always see Heath Ledger's as the embodiment of the more realistic Joker, compared to Suicide Squad version, and even going so far as Jack Nicholson's version. Because I mean, Jack Nicholson's version was good in the original Batman, but I've always known Jared Leto was a great actor. I mean, there are multiple instances of him being a great actor. It was just a version of the character that I wish that he never would have been given.
A thing that I like to point out, in my opinion, although it has to do with the comics and has nothing to do with the movies, there was a comics run that was, I think, a couple years ago that recently had ended, I believe, called The Three Jokers. And there's 3 different styles. You have one that's basically a criminal mastermind, another that is that does jokes because he can, and it's fun to pull the jokes. And then you have a third one that's just absolutely insane compared to the other 3.
Right. That's recently in comics and everything.
And so it also comes down to the certain ages of the Jokers that we've seen throughout the comics. So you have the Golden Age Joker, which was like the classic one that did all these crimes and was basically just a criminal mastermind and doing all that stuff, which is why we have the criminal mastermind. You have the Silver Age one, which was more pulling jokes and whatnot and not really trying to go and cause much except for minor troubles here and there. And then you had the one that's what I call compared to the others. And so I consider the Heath Ledger Joker to be kind of like the original Golden Age, where he's a criminal mastermind, because he's an expert tactician. I consider Jack Nicholson's Joker to be the more
Silver Age
gangster previously, but he's more a joke. yeah, he's more of a joke, which is why I say he's Silver Age. And then the Joaquin Phoenix slash
Heath Ledger.
original, no, the Joaquin Phoenix slash original version of Jared Leto's Joker
Mm-hmm.
are supposed to be kind of insane, due to the fact that Joaquin Phoenix's has like an actual thing going on with him, which is kind of like a psychosis,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not really psychosis in its own way. It's a form of psychosis, but the Jared Leto is kind of has a little bit of psychosis with him, but he is more businesslike. But I still consider him more in the current ages of insane because of how he rationalizes.
Has had lots of opportunities to prove how amazing of an actor he is, and in all kinds of different roles. I feel like Jared Leto, Jared Leto is a method actor. So there of course were stories running around the Suicide Squad set of Leto doing all kinds of weird things, like sending cast members use condoms and everything like that. That's the actual story. You can look it up, and I'm not going to mention it any further.
I'm not going to explain it anymore because it's just he pulled some really strange stuff on the set of Suicide Squad, but it was what helped him get into his version of the Joker. But in my opinion, the one that we got in the Nightmare sequence was the way better version that we all expected and we all were hoping for.
Right.
Well as the fact that he's not as insane, he's more cold and calculated, kind of like Heath Ledger's Joker.
Right. To me, I feel like it was Jared Leto was emulating the of Heath Ledger's, but the cool, calculated vibe of maybe it's been a while. Verbal pronunciation type stuff was more Jack Nicholson in a way. I don't know.
In my opinion, I just want to throw this in real quick. I think it's more of a combination of Heath Ledger's and Mark
Hamill's.
Okay, that's what I see when I saw that. It was like a mixture of Heath Ledger's and Arkham series Joker.
Well, Joker has always been one controversial character in both comics and animation and in actual full-fledged Hollywood movies. And part of me would like to see what they were doing with Darth Maul in the Solo movie or in the Clone Wars, where they had Ray Park do the performance capture for Maul, where you see him physically acting as Maul, but you had Sam Witwer come in as the voice of Maul. I would like to see something like that, where it's like we have Jared Leto acting as the Joker, but you hear Mark Hamill's voice or something like that. Like, even getting like a stunt actor to play the Joker for doing all the stunts, but you hear Mark Hamill's voice, and if that makes any sense whatsoever. In any case, Joker in this film, pretty good. I liked it. Of course, you mentioned the Boy Wonder, which at this point, most people, it's confusing for comics fans, because in the movie, you clearly can tell that if you're a comics fan, you would think that he's mentioning Jason Todd, when Snyder himself confirmed that the Boy Wonder that the Joker killed was Dick Grayson. Snyder has confirmed that.
Or it either it also could have been not Jason Todd.
Tim
Also
Drake.
could not have been, he could have been Tim Drake. Could have been Tim Drake.
Except for the fact that Joker specifically mentioned that Batman had lost an adopted son. I don't know. I don't remember if Batman ever adopted Tim Drake. I know he adopted Dick Grayson.
He actually did adopt Tim Drake and
Okay.
Dick Grayson and Jason Todd because their parents. One, Dick Grayson lost his parents at the circus. Two, Jason Todd was left in Gotham by his own mother, and so he was growing up on the streets. Tim Drake, if I remember correctly, it's been ages since his comic debut that I went back and reread twice. I believe he was kind of in the same situation of like how Robin was in the Dark Knight Rises, where he was at an orphanage. But I don't remember. It's been ages.
All of this is kind of giving me like his ideas for what I would like to see in the future if DC works with any form of Robin. I would like to see an R-rated Red Hood movie in the style of maybe John Wick. Where it's like Red Hood is taking the place of like John Wick here. Like he can kick ass, take games. I mean,
in my opinion, if they're gonna throw a Red Hood movie, I would like it to be kind of more like the Red Hood and the Outlaws. That comic run was fantastic. He had teamed up with a clone of Bizarro that was basically kind of a good guy and basically like a child compared to the original Bizarro. And I forgot her name, but there's this other teammate that he had with him. She was, if I remember correctly, like Wonder Girl, where she's kind of like an Amazonian as well, but she's not fully Amazonian. Well, but
either way,
Red Hood and the Outlaws, fantastic comic. You should give it a read if you get the chance.
We've been rambling about the Zack Snyder cut and the DCEU for the last, I would go ahead and say, hour and 20 minutes. We've gone over the countdown. We didn't get to mention anything regarding WandaVision or the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I guess we can talk more about that next week on next week's podcast. I've been live for an hour 45 minutes at this point, and I still need to get everything set up for tonight's live stream of the DSC-CMP Battle Zone. So I want to go ahead and say thank you to Mr. Tony over here, Mr. lan626, for joining us again on another podcast. He's becoming more of a regular. This podcast is becoming more movie central. We're hoping to maybe get more of a gaming setup, gaming talk later on. Later this year, once we get more game type DSC-Cast podcast. Again, tonight's live stream is going to be DSC-CMP Battle Zone, featuring, of course, myself, Daniel, Spooky, Tony, and my dad. Maybe even if he does decide to join.
I may or may not be able to join the other thing. I was planning on meeting some people up elsewhere, but I don't know if I'll be able to join you guys on that. If I can, I'll let you.
I'll make sure that I know who is and who isn't joining tonight. So, maybe we'll even get Evan in, who knows. But I want to say thank you to everyone watching on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Again, we'll be live tonight, 7:30 Central Standard Time, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time for all you people who are like spooky all the way out on the Pacific Coast. Again, tomorrow night I'm gonna look into doing an Uno stream. If we can't do Uno, then we'll do Zack again, and get to join us for that, because I mean those streams are fun, but we're happy to talk about those at a later date. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Next week's podcast will be on Sunday, the what is it? Sunday, the 28th, and Sunday 28th, and then the next podcast on April 4th will probably be featured around Godzilla vs. Kong or something like that. I don't know. Who knows? But thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, do whatever you gotta do, share the podcast, spiel.